vast majority of people have transitioned to home.
Amanda, how are you doing today?
Hi Elizabeth, I'm good. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. So 9 to 5ers today. We're at Yoga Strong and Barfly downtown Cleveland to talk to Amanda, the business owner who runs this amazing place. So we're going to walk you through what she does, the backstory, and all things Yoga Strong. So Amanda, walk and talk. Show us your studio and let's have fun.
Okay, lovely.
All right, so what do you do here at Yoga Strong?
So we offer classes 7 days a week. We have a hot yoga space, and we also have a non-heated space where we do aerial yoga and we do bar kind of Pilates toning classes.
Nice. Okay, so of all these classes, what do you enjoy the most?
Ooh, that's like actually a really hard question. So I enjoy, well, it changes with what I feel like. So I would say that my first overall most love is yoga. I think that's where I started.
Okay.
And then I started teaching bar, and I started teaching aerial, and I have phased out of teaching aerial because I have better aerial teachers than myself. They're much more advanced, and you know, Tara and Sam and Michelle are fantastic. So they teach mostly aerial classes, and we do that here in this room.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have a non-heated space, and we have room for lots of hammocks in the ceiling. When you come in, you'll kind of see. And we brought a couple down because I know Elizabeth likes our aerial classes too. Aerial yoga is really great. It's a different form of exercise that you probably can't do at your home, right? Not everyone has the ability to hang something in their apartment or in their house. So I explain aerial yoga like a chiropractic appointment, a yoga class, and a deep tissue massage all happening at once. Yeah, so you can like do simple things that maybe you think of like a stretch, right? You can go a little bit deeper. You probably have a good view of my dirty foot. Make sure you get that in the frame. So you can do something deeper. You can do lots of poses, but everyone's favorite thing is to do an inversion. So aerial yoga gives you this ability to go upside down and have a compression-free inversion, which is so lovely. So it kind of readjusts your spine and your hips, and where the fabric hits you actually is like a massage. Like it's not, it's, I don't want to say it hurts, but it's deep, right? Like it's like in there, like a deep tissue massage.
Yes. So the yoga, tell us about it and where in this amazing studio you show it.
Yeah, okay, so we have a heated space. It's really beautiful. We'll take you there now. We heat our room to 90 degrees. So we call it hot yoga. It's not intensely hot. It's not, you know, we have a furnace heat, 90 degrees. We also have infrared panels in the floor. So we go here for yoga. And yeah, so underneath the floor we have infrared panels, and then we have regular furnace heat as well, and some baseboard heat down there. So the heat isn't too intense, it's like a feel-good heat. And infrared heat heats you from the inside out.
Yes.
So as you move, like when you first come in, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's not that bad. But then as you move, you'll really start to sweat because it moves with like cells that are moving. So when you move, then it intensifies that heat inside of you. It's really good for people with arthritis or if you have inflammation. Like the infrared kind of breaks that down if you've ever been in an infrared sauna. So it's like an added little bonus. So this morning in class, we did Warrior 2, right, which is a nice open hip pose. We had a hip focus this morning. We did reverse warrior, we're going is really nice for the inside of the thigh. And then Elizabeth remembers, right? We came down and did extended side angles, and then we came onto one side and found a little bit of a balance.
That one was
challenging. And then a vinyasa, so you can come down and little push-up, upward facing dog, and then everyone knows downward facing dog. Yes.
So now that we know about what you do and aerial yoga, what was your biggest inspiration to start all of this?
Okay, so I thought about this question a lot, and my answer is that it didn't come necessarily from inspiration, but out of necessity. I graduated college in 2008 when the really big market crash was going on, and no one was really hiring. So I kind of tested the waters, interviewed a lot, wasn't getting any positions. So I ended up moving back in with my parents. This is, years go by, a couple years go by. Ended up moving back in with my parents, super broke. And I'm driving to this hot yoga class once a week. That's all I could afford. I wish I could have gone every day. And I'm living with my parents, so I leave for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then come back. And I'm dripping sweat and I look a hot mess. And my dad's like, where are you going? What are you doing? What is this? And so I started to tell him about hot yoga. And he was like, what? You're in a hot room and other people, is anyone there with you? And I'm like, the room is packed. People love it. And he was like, well, if it's so popular, why isn't there a studio around here? And it was just this light bulb just went off for me, immediately. And that was in December of 2012. And I opened my first studio, it's in Canton, in February of 2013. So it was a very fast process when you think about I'm gonna start a business, all this planning. It was almost like the light bulb went off and I just didn't look back. I just didn't even have time to second guess myself. I found a space, signed a lease, got it up and running. I was the only teacher. I taught 5 to 6 classes a day, every day. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no business plan. I had none of that. I was just okay, here we go. That's how it started.
All right, so wow, that is amazing. Okay, one thing that I'm taking away from that is if you want to start something, go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be well thought out. Yes, some people have it well thought out, but go for it. You would learn so much. And that led to you opening a second studio here in Cleveland.
Yes.
Which I started coming to, I think 2018 or 19.
Yes.
And I really love it here. So at what point did you decide, okay, the business is going well, let's open a second studio in Cleveland?
Yeah. So I lived in Cleveland. Right when I graduated college, I lived in Cleveland. This is 2009, 2010. I used to work with the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I was in Cleveland and I just loved it. Canton is a city, but it's obviously much smaller, and then I live in the suburbs, and I just really loved the energy of the city, really vibed with me. And when I moved away, I missed it. And so in the back of my mind, I always had this I'm gonna end up in Cleveland. I'm gonna end up there. I took a detour, but I eventually want to get back.
Right.
And actually, one of my best friends from high school opened a store, cold pressed juice. Yeah, my friend Christy. It's right. It's very close on purpose. So she opened up downtown Cleveland, and I was talking to her about it, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. This is right around the time we opened Heinen's, and I was like, oh my god, Cleveland is it's getting there, And I was like, I want to be a part of a walkable downtown Cleveland. The grocery stores there, it's when you live in a city, you want to walk to the grocery store. You want to walk to yoga. You don't want to get in your car, right? That's the point of living in a city.
Yes.
So I just felt this was the time.
Yes.
And that was in, 2016, I think. Yeah. It was November of 2016 that we opened the space. So yeah, we've been here 5 years now.
Okay, I'm glad to say I've been here for more than half that time.
Yeah.
All right, so we know what you do, we know how you open the store. So Do you offer any training for other yogis? Because obviously now you have like other teachers to teach classes throughout. Do you have any trainings? Do you offer, you know, certifications or things like that for other people who are interested in becoming yogis?
Yes. Yes. We have so yoga teacher training, like the base level, I call it the undergrad, right, if you will, is called a 200-hour yoga teacher certification. And I've been offering that for, honestly, I don't remember how many years. I think I've graduated over almost 200 people through that training program. It's been, I think, since 2014 or 2015. And I do once a year. It's an eight-month program, and we meet 1 weekend a month. So we like really are immersed for 1 weekend, and then you have that month to like practice and do homework and kind of let it sink in. And so we go from September to April. It's a really well-developed program because I've been doing it for so long. And it's a vinyasa program because essentially that's like our bread and butter that we do is like power vinyasa, even though we offer an array of different classes. Like the main class that we do is like a power class.
Let's dial down a little bit and talk about the business.
Yes.
So the pandemic was really, really hard on small businesses. Like, how did you thrive? Like, did it hit you? Like, how did you bounce back? I know the studio was closed for a few months, just, you know, to address that and things like that, but tell us, please.
Yeah, of course. Like, we were really affected by the pandemic. You know, I feel like all service industry businesses really got hit the hardest. And so we did close our doors. We were closed for most of 2020 in Cleveland. We did try and reopen in the summer, like we kind of dipped our toe in, and it just felt like people weren't ready. Like when we got back, like we kind of did the summer into September, and then when the spike started to go up, like near Thanksgiving, we just closed back down. It was really hard. I mean, I'll specifically speak to downtown Cleveland because before the pandemic, you know, we had so many people working downtown. You know,
Yeah, I was.
there's so many people working downtown, and our morning classes, our lunch class is totally full of people on their break from work or before they go into work. And even now, like those people are working from home. Like the vast majority of people have transitioned to home. So I really had to think like, okay, like I don't know if downtown is gonna be there, you know, like I have no idea. So we really had to start slow. Like when we came back, we had to start slow and just say, if we can do this many classes, let's see if people come. And then we're kind of slowly still, even now, like rebuilding our schedule, and you know, we have big staff turnover, we're bringing in new teachers. It's just been like starting over in a way. But one little bright spot is that so many people came back, like Elizabeth. You know, like Elizabeth doesn't even work downtown anymore. And she still comes to the studio, which really means a lot to me and, you know, to the community of people that we have.
So what are your goals for the future? Like, do you have any plans? Would you open a third studio? Things like that.
Okay. I probably wouldn't open a third studio right now since we're still kind of rebuilding. It's never out of my mind because I know how to do it now, right? I've made every mistake possible that you could possibly make. So now I feel like I have this huge well of experience, right? It's almost been a decade that I've done this every single day. Because as you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you work 24/7. It's not just, it's not a 9 to 5. It's more than that. My plans for the future are to offer more trainings. I really love to train teachers because it's like you just get in a room with people who vibe like what you love. You know, like we're all on the same page and we can go really deep. So offering more trainings, offering more advanced trainings. Just also, in my immediate future is just filling out the schedule. Like I want to have morning classes again. We want to have lunch classes. We want people to, you know, come out, even if they work from home. Take a break, shut your screen down, move your body, go back.
Yeah, I think, you know, that was really, really good for me. Like when I was working remotely 2 years when my office closed down here, and it was the best thing to be able to leave the house at 5 p.m. and make a 6 p.m. class. Like that was, I looked forward to that every day. So you guys heard, there's classes coming, the schedules are going to be filling out. You know, check the schedule, Yoga Strong on MindBuddy, and book classes. So final question, what advice do you have for young professionals, millennials, Gen Zs, who are looking like maybe 9 to 5 is not the route for them and they want to start a business? Like, what advice do you have for them?
So I have two things. One is like invest in yourself, invest in your training, invest in your education, like whatever it is that lights you up, get well versed in it. Like become an expert in your field, right? Do everything you can to keep learning. I try to take 1 or 2 trainings every single year. The past years I've been doing Zoom training, meaning like I'm a student, like I'm in the training, you know? It just helps light me up, it keeps me fresh and inspired. So that's maybe my biggest tip. My second tip kind of goes along with what we were talking about earlier of like, just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it doesn't have to be, like when I opened my first studio, I bought furniture from Marks. Like I just like, it was like, you know, like everything wasn't exactly the way I envisioned, but just get the ball rolling and you'll learn so much along the way of, okay, this works, this doesn't. And you can't do that until you start doing it. So just don't look back. Even when it starts to get hard, keep going.
Nice. All right, you heard her. Invest, just do it, don't look back. That's it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and book a class at Yoga Strong. Have a nice day.